Your potential is waiting for you right now. It sits inside you like a seed waiting to grow. Every day that passes without you taking action is another day that your greatness remains buried. Tells me a young woman who worked as a janitor at a local hospital. Each night as she cleaned, she would stop by patients' rooms and offer kind words and encouragement. The nurses noticed how patients' spirits lifted after her visits. Today she runs one of the most successful patient advocacy organizations in the country. What changed? Not her potential. That was always there. What changed was her decision to act on what she already possessed. Most people fail not because they lack talent, ability, or opportunity. They fail because they never start. They never take that first step. They never push past their comfort zone. Now others make excuses. Successful people make progress. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why 99% of people remain stuck in mediocrity while a select few rise to extraordinary heights. You'll learn the principles that separate those who merely dream from those who actually achieve. You understand why your purpose is the key that unlocks your potential. You will walk away with practical steps that you can implement immediately. Not next week, not when conditions are perfect. Today, right? I promise you, what I share with you today, your life 1 year from now would be unrecognizable compared to where you stand now. The person you're meant to become is waiting for you to make the decision to grow. What makes this message different is that it's not about positive thinking alone. It's about positive action. It's about the specific steps that turn ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Are you ready to join the one who refused to leave their potential untapped? Are you willing to do what the 99 won't do? Because that's exactly why they fail and why you won't. Potential is the most powerful force in human existence. Yet it remains the most wasted resource on earth. What exactly is potential? It's not just ability, it's dormant power. It's not just talent. Potential is everything you are capable of, but haven't yet become. It's everything you could do, but haven't yet done. Think about a seed. Inside that tiny shell lies a forest waiting to emerge. A single apple seed contains not just one apple tree, but orchards of trees across generations, thousands of apples, millions of seeds. That seed doesn't look impressive. You could crush it between your fingers. Yet its potential is enormous when planted in the right soil and given the right conditions. You are that seed. Your potential follows the same natural law. What's inside you is greater than what you currently express. The abilities you haven't used yet far exceed the ones you currently demonstrate. There is a sobering truth. The wealthiest place on earth isn't a diamond mine in Africa or an oil field in the Middle East. The wealthiest place is the cemetery, because buried there are books never written, businesses never started, cures never discovered, and dreams never pursued. Millions of unfulfilled possibilities lie buried with the people who never acted on them. Research shows that the average person uses less than 10 of their capabilities throughout their lifetime. Think about that. 90% of what you're capable of might go untapped. Studies from leading universities confirm that most people operate far below their actual capacity in every area: intellectual, creative, physical, and relational. What separates those who succeed from those who don't? It's not intelligence. Many brilliant people achieve nothing remarkable. It's not background. Success stories emerge from every possible circumstance. It's not luck. What appears as luck is usually preparation meeting opportunity. The good difference is action. Successful people take consistent, purposeful action toward clear goals. They understand something the 99 don't. Potential by itself accomplishes nothing. Potential needs purpose to be activated. Your talents and abilities are like tools in a toolbox. Having them is not enough. You must know which tool to use, when to use it, and then actually pick it up and work with it. Purpose provides that direction. Ever notice how people with a strong reason accomplish things others consider impossible? A mother lifts a car to save her child. A student from poverty becomes the first college graduate in their family. An immigrant builds a business empire starting with nothing. Their secret isn't superhuman ability, it's superhuman purpose. Your potential has a shelf life. Unlike wine, it doesn't improve with age if left unused. Each day you don't act on your abilities, they weaken slightly. Each opportunity you don't seize disappears forever. The good news, the moment you decide to act, your potential begins to transform into reality. The moment you connect your abilities to a meaningful purpose, you start the journey from the 99 to the 1. Just get honest about why most people never reach their full potential. It's not a mystery. The patterns are clear for anyone willing to see them. Fear of failure tops the list. Most people are more afraid of trying and failing than never trying at all. They worry about looking foolish, being criticized, or confirming their own self-doubts. But here's what successful people understand. Failure isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. Every major achievement in history followed multiple failures. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before creating a working light bulb. When asked about it, he said he hadn't failed. He had successfully found 10,000 ways that didn't work. The second reason is lack of a clear vision. When you don't know exactly what you want, any road will take you there, which means you'll end up nowhere in particular. The one who succeed have crystal clear targets. They can describe precisely what they're working toward. Their goals are specific, measurable, and written down. Studies show that people who write down their goals are 42 more likely to achieve them. Yet only 3 leaf-up goats have written goals. The math isn't complicated. Most people wait for perfect conditions. I'll start when I have more money, more time, more support, more education. But perfect conditions never arrive. Successful people start with whatever they have. I understand that momentum comes from movement, not from waiting. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Fourth, most people lack accountability. They make private promises they can quietly break. Without someone holding them to their word, they let themselves off the hook when things get difficult and then put structures in place that hold them accountable. Coaches, mentors, partners, or groups that expect progress and call out excuses. Finally, most people have grown comfortable with mediocrity. They've settled for good enough for so long that excellence feels unnecessary. They compare themselves to others who are also underperforming and feel satisfied that they're doing okay. But exceptional achievement requires exceptional standards. Consider these examples. AK, Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter was accepted. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Steve Jobs was fired from the company he founded before returning to make it the most valuable company in the world. Separates these individuals from the 99. They refuse to let failure define them. They maintain clear vision despite setbacks. They started with what they had. They built accountability systems. They rejected mediocrity. To join the WAN, you must develop a fundamentally different mindset. You must see failure as data, not defeat. You must define your targets with absolute clarity. You must start now with what you have. You must create accountability. You must raise your standards until mediocrity becomes unacceptable. The harsh truth is that failure isn't about lack of talent, but lack of persistence. The 99 give up just before a breakthrough. Purpose is the engine that drives potential into reality. Without purpose, talent remains dormant, dreams stay dreams, and capabilities go unused. When you understand your purpose, everything changes. Your motivation, your decisions, your resilience. Purpose answers the question, why? Why get up early when you could sleep in? Why push through difficulties when you could quit? Why sacrifice immediate pleasure for long-term growth? Without compelling answers to these questions, you'll join the 99 who start strong but finish nowhere. Why do you find your unique purpose? Start by asking yourself these questions. What problems do you feel drawn to solve? What activities cause you to lose track of time? What would you do even if you weren't paid for it? What makes you angry enough to want to create change? What needs do you see that others overlook? The intersection of your answers reveals your purpose zone. When Olympic gold medalist Wilma Rudolph was told she would never walk again after contracting polio as a child, she found purpose in proving the doctors wrong. She not only walked, she became the fastest woman in the world. Her purpose fueled her through years of painful rehabilitation and training. Without that purpose, her potential would have remained just that potential. Think about how purpose creates resilience. When faced with obstacles, people without purpose quickly surrender. The first rejection, the first failure, the first criticism sends them retreating. But purpose-driven individuals see obstacles differently. They view challenges as tests of their commitment, not signals to stop. They ask, how can I overcome this? Rather than, why is this happening to me? A study at Stanford University found that people who connected their work to a greater purpose showed 30 higher performance, 46 stronger organizational commitment, and 32 lower turnover rates. Purpose literally changes how effectively you function. From the series examples, Oprah Winfrey transformed a difficult childhood into a purpose of empowering others through media. Elon Musk channeled his interest in humanity's future into creating companies that address major global challenges. Malala Yousafzai turned her experience of educational inequality into a worldwide movement for girls' education. Their achievements weren't just about talent. They were about purpose directing that talent. To identify your personal purpose. First, identify your key strengths and abilities. Second, list the needs you see in your community, industry, or the world. Third, consider what experiences have shaped you most profoundly. Where these three elements overlap is your purpose sweet spot. Write this purpose in a single sentence that will guide your decisions. Once you've clarified your purpose, it becomes a daily decision-making tool. When opportunities arise, ask yourself, does this align with my purpose? When faced with challenges, how is overcoming this serve my larger purpose? These questions filter your choices and keep you on track. Purpose also provides daily motivation. On difficult days when motivation fades, purpose remains. It's the difference between I want to and I must. Wants are negotiable, musts are non-negotiable. The 99 operate on wants, I'm gonna operate on must. Your purpose might evolve over time, and that's natural. What matters is that you're living intentionally rather than accidentally. The 90 drift through life responding to whatever comes their way. The one move with direction, using their purpose as a compass. Potential without purpose is wasted power, and your talents, abilities, experiences, and opportunities amount to nothing without the directing force of purpose. When you align your actions with your purpose, you activate your potential in ways that produce extraordinary results. Now let's move from understanding purpose to the practical steps that turn purpose into achievement. Talk is worthless without action. Ideas without implementation lead nowhere. Let me show you exactly what the Wonder does differently each day that separates them from everyone else. It starts with their morning routine. While the 99 hit snooze and rush through their mornings, successful people own the first hour of their day. Research from the University of Nottingham found that willpower is highest in the morning and depletes throughout the day. This explains why 90% of executives wake up before 6 a.m. They use this quiet time for planning, exercise, mindfulness, and personal development. Create a morning routine that it says 20 minutes of physical activity to flood your brain with focus-enhancing BDNF protein, 10 minutes of planning your day's most important tasks, 15 minutes of reading or learning, and 5 minutes of visualizing successful outcomes. This single habit creates momentum that affects everything else. Next comes goal setting. The Harvard Business School study on goals found something remarkable. The three graduates who had written goals earned 10 times more than the 97 who didn't. Ordinary achievers set goals that follow the clear formula. Challenging, legal, ethical, ambitious, and recorded. They write goals that stretch them beyond comfort but remain achievable with effort. For each major goal, create a one-page plan answering these questions. What exactly will I achieve? Why is this important to me? What specific actions will I take? What resources do I need? What obstacles might I face and how will I overcome them? What is my deadline? This brings clarity that the 99 to never create. Collaborative planning transforms goals into reality. Each evening, successful people identify the 3 most important tasks for the next day. Not a massive to-do list, just 3 high-impact priorities. They tackle these tasks before checking email, social media, or other distractions. This method, called Map of Most Important Tasks, ensures progress on significant goals regardless of interruptions. Accountability separates wishers from achievers. The American Society of Training and Development found that people with accountability partners are 95% more likely to complete their goals. Find someone who will ask hard questions, challenge your excuses, meet weekly to review progress and reset priorities. The 99 make private promises they can quietly break. The 1 make public commitments they must keep. Your environment shapes your outcomes more than willpower. Remove temptations rather than resisting them. Want to eat healthier? Clear junk food from your home. Want to focus better? Work in 90-minute blocks with your phone in another room. A study in the Journal of Consumer Research found that willpower is a limited resource easily depleted by temptation. The wander environment to make success automatic. Extraordinary achievers track their progress daily. They measure what matters. If health is important, they track workouts and nutrition. If business growth matters, they track leads and conversions. If relationship building is key, they track meaningful conversations. T. Drucker was right. What gets measured gets managed. Create a simple tracking system for your key metrics and review it daily. Then he followed the 5-second rule. When you feel resistance toward potent action, count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move before your brain creates excuses. They practice the 40 rule used by Navy SEALs. When your mind says you're done, you're only 40 done. Push beyond perceived limits daily. Successful people protect their energy fiercely. They recognize that physical vitality underlies all achievement. They prioritize 7-8 hours of sleep, knowing that sleep deprivation reduces cognitive function by 30. They manage their nutrition for sustained energy, not quick boosts and crashes. They take strategic breaks using the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes of focused work followed by 5-minute breaks. And then practice deliberate learning. While the 99 consume random information, extraordinary achievers study systematically. They read 30-60 minutes daily in their field. They apply new knowledge immediately through implementation exercises. They teach what they learn to others, which research shows improves retention by 9. Finally, successful people review weekly and adjust accordingly. Every Sunday, they assess what worked, what didn't, and what needs to change. This prevents them from repeating mistakes and allows continuous improvement. What did I learn? What did I accomplish? Where did I fall short? What will I do differently next week? These aren't complicated practices. They don't require special talent or privilege. They require consistency. The 99 know what to do, but do it occasionally. The 1 do these things religiously, turning simple actions into extraordinary outcomes through the compound effect of daily habits. Choose 1 practice from this list. Implement it tomorrow. Add another next week. Within a month, you'll have built a foundation for extraordinary achievement that separates you from the 99. Everyone faces obstacles. The difference between the Wayne and the 99 isn't the absence of challenges, but how they respond to them. Let's address the 5 major roadblocks that stop most people and provide specific strategies to overcome each one. Limited resources stop many before they start. I don't have enough money, connections, or equipment, they say. But resourcefulness matters more than resources. When Richard Branson started Virgin Records, he operated from a church crypt. Raymond John created Fuba's first samples by sewing clothes at home after working full shifts at Red Lobster. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. Start with what you have. Ask yourself, what can I do with the resources currently available? Make a list of all assets at your disposal: skills, relationships, tools, time, and even challenges that give you unique perspective. Then who has the resources I need? And how can I create value for them? Creating value precedes accessing resources. Negative influence derail many promising journeys. Research from the Framingham Heart Study shows you're 60 more likely to achieve success if your close friends are successful. Yet many stay in environments where mediocrity is the norm and ambition is criticized. That your 5 closest relationships. Write down how each person affects your energy, motivation, and actions. For negative influences, you can't remove. Establish clear boundaries. Limit exposure 30 minutes or less. Counter each interaction with positive input through books, podcasts, or calls with supportive people. Simultaneously build new relationships through groups focused on growth, achievement, and contribution. Past failures haunt the 99. They carry all disappointments as evidence of future outcomes. One business that failed means they're not cut out for entrepreneurship. One relationship that ended badly means they're bad at relationships. These stories become self-fulfilling prophecies. Reframe failures as occasion, not identity. For each past disappointment, write down 3 specific lessons learned. Then ask, how does this experience actually prepare me for success? Thomas Edison's thousands of failed attempts at the light bulb weren't failures. They were the necessary steps to solution. Your past isn't your future unless you live there. Self-doubt is perhaps the greatest obstacle. The voice that whispers, "Who do you think you are?" stops more dreams than any external barrier. Imposter syndrome affects even high achievers. Research shows 70% of successful people experience it regularly. Create an evidence journal. Daily record small wins, compliments received, challenges overcome, and progress made. Review this journal when doubt surfaces. Also, adopt the practice of acting as if. Identify someone who has achieved what you're working toward. When facing uncertainty, ask, what would they do in this situation? Then do that even if it feels uncomfortable. Behavior precedes belief. When I'm constraints are the final excuse. I'm too busy becomes the shield against meaningful action. Yet research shows the average American spends 3.5 hours daily on social media and 3 hours watching television. The issue isn't lack of time, but lack of priorities. Conduct a time audit. Track how you spend each hour for 1 week. Identify low-value activities that can be eliminated, delegated, or batched. Implement time boxing, assigning specific time blocks for your most important work with no distractions allowed. Work is law. Work expands to fill the time available. Giving yourself less time often produces better results. These obstacles aren't unique to you. Every successful person faced them. What separated them was refusing to use challenges as reasons to stop. They recognized that obstacles aren't in your way. Each one you overcome builds the strength needed for greater achievement. Yes. Entrepreneur Murillo says, everything is figure-outable. Adopt this as your mantra when facing obstacles, and you join the way. We find ways when others find excuses. Your environment will either lift you toward your potential or pull you away from it. Most people dramatically underestimate how their surroundings shape their actions, thoughts, and ultimately their results. The spaces you occupy, the people you interact with, and the inputs you allow into your mind-forming ecosystem that either nurtures or hinders your growth. Successful people actively design this ecosystem rather than passively accepting whatever surrounds. Start with finding mentors and guides. No extraordinary achievement happens in isolation. Research from Micromentor shows that entrepreneurs with mentors and entrepreneurs in revenue by an average of 83. Those without mentors, only 16 growth. Your mentors don't need to be famous or even know you personally. Books, courses, and studying someone's journey can provide mentorship from a distance. But nothing replaces the power of direct connection with someone who has walked the path before you. Approach potential mentors by offering value first. Ask specific questions rather than vague requests for guidance. Respect their time, implement their advice, and report back on your results. One strong mentor can save you years of trial and error beyond individual mentors. Build a supportive community. The entrepreneur Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Audit your current relationships honestly. Do you support your growth or subtly undermine it? Do they challenge you to higher standards or comfort you in mediocrity? or create communities organized around growth and achievement. Masterminds, professional associations, online groups with strict standards, these environments normalize excellence. When surrounded by people taking bold action, your own boldness seems reasonable rather than risky. Just as important as removing negative influences. This doesn't always mean ending relationships, but it does mean setting boundaries. Limit time with people who drain your energy, criticize your ambitions, or consistently focus on problems rather than solutions. Be ruthlessly protective of your mindset. Your physical environment affects your performance more than you realize. Studies show that clutter reduces focus and increases stress hormones. Simple adjustments like organizing your workspace, controlling noise levels, and ensuring proper lighting can increase productivity by up to 30. Create dedicated spaces for key activities. A distraction-free zone for deep work, a comfortable area for reading and learning, and energizing space for exercise. These environmental cues trigger the right mental states for each activity. Continuous learning must be built into your environment. Subscribe to key journals in your field. Schedule learning blocks in your calendar. Follow thought leaders who challenge your thinking. The one never stop growing because they create systems that make learning automatic rather than optional. This is your moment of decision. Not tomorrow, not when conditions are perfect. Everything you've heard today means nothing without your decision to act. Information without application leads to nothing but frustration. Will you be among the 99 who hear good advice, but never apply it? Or will you join the one who turn knowledge into action? You're seeing this message today for a reason. The fact that you're still listening means something inside you is hungry for change. That hunger is trying to tell you something important. You were made for more. Every great achievement in history began with a decision. One moment when someone said, enough. Starting today, things will be different. Your life will never change until you make that same decision. The gap between where you are and where you could be is filled with decisions. Small daily choices that either move you towards your potential or away from it. Starting right now, you can make different choices. Don't wait for motivation. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. Take one step, however small, before you leave today. Our world doesn't need more people with untapped potential. The cemetery is already full of them. The world needs people who decide to live fully, to contribute greatly, to become everything they were created to be. I challenge you. Don't let the day pass without moving toward your full potential. Your future self is watching this moment, hoping you'll make the right choice. The 99 way for someday. The which start today. Which will you choose?